Hey guys, this video is about 4.7 option 2, the creative option planning document. So you're going to pick this option if you want to write a piece that is creative rather than a piece that is reflective. So for a creative piece, what do we mean? Well, you're going to write a new short story based on your book, okay? You can do a lot of different things with this. You could have an alternate ending, so change how the book ends, especially if you didn't like the ending. How about change it? You get to choose how the story ends. Or you could include an extra scene not included in the original, something maybe that was skipped over or something that you imagine happened or that you'd like to see included. Or you could include a sequel exploring what happens after the book. So, 5 months later or 5 years later, what's happening. Or you could come up with a spin-off, something that's connected, but maybe is a different story entirely. So this is your chance to respond to your book and add your own voice to it to be creative. You will also write a short rationale explaining why you made the choices you made in your short story and how they connect to the book. Okay, so now we have 2 samples, and you've got this document as well in Schoology, so you're going to make a copy of it when you open it up, and you're going to add your own ideas about your own book. But it starts with looking at samples. So step 1 is read the 2 sample short stories. So the first one is a short story based on the play A Raisin in the Sun. And we all read that first semester. So this is a good example to show you what you can do, the kind of thing that you can do with this option 2 creative piece. So this one is 459 words, a reminder that yours has to be 300. This story would get a high score on the rubric because it's much more than 300 words. So they were going for an A grade when they wrote this. And then they have a rationale. A rationale is an explanation of why they wrote what they wrote. Okay? So read that first one on A Raisin in the Sun. And then this is a second short story example. This one is based on the book The Hating Game that this student read. And you can see this one is 535 words. So again, it's much more than the minimum of 300 words. And it also includes a rationale or an explanation of why they wrote what they wrote. Okay, so reading those samples is the first step. And then the second step is to plan the short story that you are going to write before you write it. You're going to use the guiding questions to help you write your own. So you type your work in this column. So the first question is summarize your choice reading book. What was it about? What genre was it? What moments do you remember most clearly? And so you're just responding about the book that you read. What do you remember about it? What happened in the book? And what genre was it? The second question is describe your idea for your new short story. Will it be a prequel happening before the book starts? A sequel happening after the book ends? An alternate ending, so a change in what happens, a missing scene, or a spin-off. So describe it here, including one of those ideas. 3 is what characters from the original book will be the focus of your short story. 4, what situation or plot event will the characters have to deal with in your short story? Brainstorm at least 2 possible ideas. So your first idea goes here, second idea goes here. So, here you're thinking about the things that happen in the book. Which things are you going to focus on? All right, number 5, explain your rationale, your reason why for this new story. Why would this be an interesting addition to the original book? What connections will you make between your new creation and your original book? There are many ways to start a story is the next part. A few common and compelling options include start with dialogue, characters speaking, start with a question, or start in the middle of the action as if things have already been happening before we even begin reading. Complete the sentence frames below using ideas that fit your story. Feel free to use one of them when you start your actual story. So here's a dialogue option. You're just going to fill in the blank there. I can't believe you would blank who says this with how do they say it. You could start a question. What would you do if? Or you could start with action. Character name could feel their heart pounding, whatever you want to use for a pronoun. There was no time to think, but maybe just enough time to, what action would they do? And you could use any of these three to start your story. All right, now it's time to write your short story. Type directly in, it says in the document in Schoology. I'm going to change that a little bit and just say make a Google document and get started typing. And then you're going to submit it through the Turnitin assignment in Schoology. Make sure it's at least 300 words, reads like a short story, shows doesn't tell, connects clearly to the original book, stays true to the characters and themes of the original book, includes description, is error-free, and includes a rationale of at least 50 words explaining the choices you made. Also in Schoology, you'll see the rubric for how your summative assessment is going to be graded. It looks like this, and so we've got both rubrics in here, the top one for the reflective choice, and then the second one for the creative choice. So in order to get an A grade on this one, you want to make sure that the different details, context, and plot of the short story show a deeper understanding of the original book. The story is much more than 300 words and is highly consistent with the original book. And so that is for criterion A, analyzing. For criterion C, producing text, you want to make sure that the story is easy to read with inflection to bring out every ounce of meaning, and that it's tough to put down. It holds the reader's attention. So that is what you're looking for. Read those samples before you get started on yours, and good luck to you. This is worth 40 summative points.